This lot took me 7 hours to build and then another 7 hours to edit. That is almost 2 full workdays, babe. Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching. My name is Vanessa. In today's video, we are going to be recreating an old build I made about 2 years ago. So if you're interested in that, then please keep on watching. So I just want to say thank you and welcome to all my new subscribers. I think before posting my last video, which is my second video on this channel by the way, I had about 5 to 6 subscribers and now I'm up to 16. So that's crazy. Is this real life? Thank you guys so much for being here, for supporting me in my content. I have no words to express how appreciative. I have no words to express how I appreciate you. That's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, enough of you, more about me. So when I originally started playing The Sims 4, it was on my MacBook Air. Don't come for me, Apple, but obviously your laptops are not meant to be running high graphic games. I honestly thought that my MacBook battery was going to explode sometimes because of how hot it would get during my builds. I would start a build on a full charge, plug the charger in and play it while it was charging when it was low battery, and then unplug it again and continue playing when it went to a full charge. So it went through a lot of battery cycles, but my new battery health on my MacBook is still pretty great considering what I put it through. And to be honest, I've had this MacBook for 5 years now and it's still going strong. But that wasn't my problem. The main issue I had when it came to playing was storage space. So after 2 builds, I racked up too many hours and my MacBook couldn't handle the storage, especially since I was using it for school and other stuff as well. So for my birthday a couple years ago, my partner got me a desktop, which is what I'm using now to film, play, edit, the whole shebang. You know? It's crazy to think that that was 2 years ago and how much things have and at the same time haven't changed since then. I want to acknowledge that I am in a very privileged position to be able to have both devices and also to have the type of support system that I have that supports me in my goals. I appreciate and I acknowledge it. That's what I was trying to say. So the first home I ever built took me about a week. I think I've talked about this before. I took my time, I spent 3 to 4 hours a day per room, and so I was still getting the hang of the game. I also think that the building process was a lot slower because I was using a trackpad instead of a mouse. So I guess in retrospect, spending 7 hours on a build isn't that long compared to my earlier days. And maybe I can even say that that's a sign of progress in my performance. I would hope so after playing this game for 2 years. Right? and if I'm being completely honest, the fact that I know after my build I'm going to have to edit the footage and post it does encourage me to plan out my builds and play the game in a way that makes it easier for me to edit and for you guys to watch, you know? Before I used to just play the game by vibes and what I was in the mood for building that day, and now that I'm older and wiser, I've come to appreciate having a plan before getting into it. I also think it makes it more enjoyable to watch when there's a system. That is just my opinion. So this time I made an extreme effort in this build to not rotate my camera as often because I know that with the speed that I'm going to be uploading this gameplay at, it can be headache inducing to watch. So the videos are already sped up too much for my liking, so I can hit the 15-minute mark. So I'm hoping to cut back on my gameplay hours in the future to have less footage that I have to try to squeeze in. I would like to be able to narrate what I'm doing, but that seems to be impossible with how fast everything is going. So TLDR, your girl's improving. She's gonna keep on improving so she can bring you more enjoyable content. Is what I'm trying to say. Anyways, back to the story of this build. I made a similar-ish build in Windenburg back in 2020. It was a 3-story home with the first floor being the entranceway / back patio that became the entrance to the wraparound pool that encircled the building. The second floor was the kitchen and living room, and the third floor was the bedroom and bathroom. I really like the idea of having an open doorway to the backyard, balconies, patios, and greenhouse dining room. Those were part of my original builds, and that's what I'm bringing over to this current build. However, this time around, I am not doing a wraparound pool and have opted instead for a fountain in the front. the pool will instead be in the back, and that was inspired by some Pinterest photos that I found online. I love Pinterest. I love browsing Pinterest. It is such a chill social media platform because it lacks the entire social aspect of it. It's just, you're just there for vibes. You know, that's what I'm into now that I'm getting older. But I will spend my evenings looking at interior design and architect inspiration and saving them for future inspiration and build. But regardless of whether it inspires me to build a real The Sims home or just gives me the vibes I'm looking for, I will always link the source down below in the description because it's important to give credit where credit is due. You know? Usually I try to post a link to the original source instead of from Pinterest, just because it's super easy for people to just post things on Pinterest without giving credit. With that being said, the front and the back are inspired by these two Pinterest posts, though I still try to make it my own. Maybe one day I'll post a real to Sims build, but for now I just like to take some inspiration from Pinterest. So usually I try not to repeat the same style per house, but listen, I have a very specific taste and I'm consistent when it comes to what I like and what I dislike. I like my homes to be evenly spaced so I can use the same square windows, and I will rebuild the room if I find that I can't incorporate the windows in evenly. So I don't like using like two windows, like one spacer windows and then two spacer windows. I like, you know, keeping the two spacer windows. I like using the same windows throughout the entire house. Bathrooms are the bane of my existence because that's the only place where I can't use the same windows, and like it hurts me that I have to use a different window because nobody wants a floor to ceiling window in the bathroom, you know? Give your girl a little privacy. Yeesh. Clearly, I really like neutral colors when it comes to large furniture, surface areas, major appliances, and I only like adding colors if it's the green from plants or it's the blue from pools. I promise I'm working on that so all my builds don't have the same vibes. But just give me time. I even have a Pinterest board called Colorful Rooms just so I could start exposing myself to more colorful aesthetics and so that I can start incorporating it in my future builds. It's like I'm trying to brainwash myself into liking more colorful builds, and like, I don't know, it's kind of working, kind of not. Spoiler, my next two builds will probably be neutral tone again, but I'm working on it, I promise. So this time around, I decided to build in a warmer climate because I knew that I was going to be using a lot of white and neutral colors. Surprise, surprise. I also knew that because I would be adding a pool, a fountain, and open entryways, that it just made sense that the place that I'm building in would be warm and dry. So naturally it makes sense for it to be in the desert. My first tropical build like this was the one in Sulani. I didn't want to build there again, or Wittenberg, which I actually originally started building there, then deleted, because I wanted to expand my reach in the game. So it made sense for me to come here instead. However, if you want to check out what I did in my first build, you can watch my first video here. It was my first video ever posted on this YouTube channel, and it was almost a year ago. That's crazy, right? I think this is my 6th attempt to build and film since my last video in February. I knew I wanted to build something and I wanted to film and post it, but I wasn't sure what. My one friend gave me a really cool idea about building a house inside a greenhouse. I attempted to build it a couple of times, but I wasn't feeling it and I couldn't get the rest of the house to fit together nicely. Besides having the general concept of a house inside a greenhouse, I couldn't envision what I wanted the rest of the home to look like. Then I tried building other homes, just thinking maybe I just needed to build something different, just for the sake of building. But throughout the entire time, it became very clear that I couldn't force a build if I wasn't passionate about it. Also couldn't go in with a half-baked plan and hope for the best. Like, it just wasn't working out. So for me, when I'm building these homes, I do it over the span of 1 week. I spend about 2 hours of my evening building, just because during the day I have other things to do. I work, I want to be outside in the sun, it's the summer now. It's a good way for me to moderate myself so I'm not staring at a screen the entire day, which is kind of funny because that's what jobs are nowadays anyway. So what I've noticed when I'm building a home that I'm excited about and I want to share with everyone is that when I lay down and go to bed, I get really excited about what I want to do and fix the next day, and then my brain can't stop thinking about how it's gonna look when it's all finished. Ideas come naturally and I can't wait for it to come together. I don't really get that drive when I'm building for the sake of building, which sounds like such an obvious conclusion. So TLDR, I can't force my builds. But at the same time, the idea of that kind of stressed me out, because does that mean I lack discipline, creativity? If I want to, and if I'm lucky enough to make this a career, will this builder block be an issue? Like, I can't function off of vibes alone, since that wouldn't be fair to my viewers, and I can't have the same inconsistent upload schedule that I have now, right? Okay, well, maybe I'm just getting ahead of myself. I think I'm just gonna keep on playing and keep on uploading videos, and whatever happens, and I'll figure it out from there. I should not have had that coffee before filming. And that takes us to the end of the video. If you guys are watching this on Friday, June 3rd, it means that my birthday was yesterday and I'm going to be spending the weekend celebrating. I'll be back soon to respond to any comments that you guys leave because I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Remember to stay hydrated, wear sunscreen, and be a good person. I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Also, let me know in the comments if you like having these interior viewing clips at the end of the video, or if you guys think I should put it in the beginning as a little sneak peek. Let me know.